So with our little Miss B, we were going to warm up with a little bit of play. So we have our flirt pole again. That's lovely. So when Miss B offers this very nice little sit, we're going to go ahead and see if we can do a little bit of chasing of the flirt pole. So we're going to say, you ready? Go get it. And the toy comes alive. And then Miss B can go ahead and chase it. So the benefit again of creating some dog-centric play is that we're giving Miss B an outlet that involves normal dog behavior. So chasing and stalking and grabbing and holding and then also biting. So we're taking these lovely natural dog behaviors and we're funneling them into an outlet that is appropriate. So almost like if your little one had a lot of energy, you might sign up for soccer camp, you could even do karate. So there's lots of cool things. Even dance could be another great option. So typically, instead of just saying, hey, stop being, a pest or bugging me, we want to give the puppy an outlet that is, again, a nice and appropriate outlet. So with our lovely Miss B, as she catches the critter, if let's say she's not really sure how to release the item, we can go ahead and practice having her play with it, but it goes limp, so I won't keep tugging or playing. Then from there, I might go, Bailey, get her attention with a little snack and do a little find it. So if she doesn't quite know how to release the item yet, getting her to do a little find it is another great way to have her relinquish the item. Hey, Ebba, can you start walking a little bit instead of running? It's just a little bit hard with Bailey for playtime, okay? You can still walk around and do your usual. So obviously in life, there's gonna be distractions. So I have my littlest one always here helping during doggy day school. So she can be a great helper for proper hellos, for introductions, also for distraction's sake. So while Ebba's doing her usual fun and playing, then Bailey can do some check-ins with me or some focus on the task, and then also some redirection from the distraction. So it gives you a couple different venues to kind of keep working through those distractions and other real life situations. Nice job. So as Miss B goes and lets go, I give her a little snack. If she goes back into playing, I just won't make the toy wiggle until I wanted to go ahead and play once more. So I might go, ready, Bailey? Get her attention, do a little find it. And then from there, when she's busy searching, I know she's like, oh, but I almost had it. So then I like to pick up the item so I can restart the game. So I might say, Bailey, you ready? And then again, I'd go ahead and say, go get it. And now the toy can come alive and we can play once more. So again, with the flirt pole, like I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure the toy stays low and there's not a lot of really extreme jostling or changing of directions. Especially when your babies are little or even when they're adults, you want to be careful about injuries. So just like with anybody, if they're having a great time, they may not always be paying attention as to maybe how their body's moving or the environment or the terrain. So I like to make it really nice and easy where I keep the toy low and I make sure that the environment isn't too stressful because a lot of times if your puppy is, again, giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time. So let's say we're going to work a little bit with maybe our drop it or out behavior. When we're working on drop it, out, give, you wouldn't want to say the word leave it. We'll discuss further later in depth with leave it. For right now, drop it or give or out would be your releases for letting go of something. So I'm going to go ahead and get Miss Bale's attention to do a little find it, get her off in the distance, and then I'm going to go ahead and see if we can do a little bit of play again. So you ready? And then again, it comes alive, go get it. So now my toy is alive and moving. We're going to see if Miss B can try to catch the guy. Again, she's doing a real nice job trying to catch the lovely flirt pole. So we're getting some nice running. And there we go. So let's say she catches the critter. You could always lower and then step on it is what I sometimes like to do so they can't tug and then by accident release and maybe it gets you. From here, if let's say she's already been doing a great job releasing, I would feed for that great response. If, for example, she was having a harder time, I might do find it's. If your puppy is not so good with take it and drop it, make sure that we're doing that exchanging of items, but also make it fun to create distance. So if let's say she's chewing on a toy or she's having some fun, I might do a little find it, toss the items off to the side so I can create distance and then go in and grab the item. Because if I just go in and swipe it from her, I might become the end of fun or start to create a dynamic where she gets overwhelmed as hands come in and reach for things. So again, we're gonna go, are you ready? And then we'll go, let's go get it. So again, now she's playing. She's doing a very nice job trying to catch that flirt pole. She's gonna be built for speed eventually. She's doing a very nice job. So I wanna make sure the game is not too hard. So you'll notice that I let her find it and catch it so she can be successful. She's actually starting to get quite good at catching the flirt pole lure. Nice job. So anytime she goes and lets go, I'm gonna also feed for that. So that way she starts to think that there is value in sometimes taking breaks or taking a little moment to check in. Because especially, as I mentioned, when puppies start to get really riled, a lot of times their ability to bounce back from that excitement is very hard. So too, as I mentioned, there's sometimes will be some distractions. So like Ebba is off in the distance playing with some toys. Ready? Find it. So the benefit of sometimes having multiple things going on is your puppy can start to ignore the distraction and start honing in on you instead. So from these lovely play moments, you may find that if your puppy, though, becomes overexcited and also overtired, their mouth might turn into its own little creature. So if you're finding the mouth and the brain are no longer connected or can talk to one another, then you're probably dealing with a puppy that is overstimulated and or as well overtired. So make sure Miss Bales is, again, getting a lot of rest. And I know we discussed it earlier, how puppies need between 18 to 20 hours of sleep a day. Adult dogs could be as much as, again, 16 hours a day. So if you're finding that she is not getting enough rest, you're more than likely going to end up with a puppy that's very mouthy and really hard to deal with at times. Nice job, Bales. So right here, she's playing with it. I'm going to go ahead, go again, and feed for the relinquishing of the item. Nice. So again, the toy doesn't instantly disappear as I go to feed her. I don't rip it from her mouth as I'm trying to feed her. The toy just stays and kind of hangs out. If when I do want to go grab the toy or want to play again, I like to do a little find it to create that distance and then pick up the item and work with her again. But this is really nice. Don't mind Ebba, she's rearranging her toys off in the distance. So again, with our little lady, I'm gonna go, are you ready? And then we're gonna go get it. And now my toy is alive and it's wiggling and she's gonna try and catch that bad boy. Very nice, Ebba. Good job, Bailey. Gorgeous. So notice how when even the toy starts to stop, she's starting to let go and take a little break. So she's starting to realize too that the toy only really comes alive sort of when I go to move it, which is a great way to get her to start honing in on you to help the toy come back to life. So ready, Bales? She's like, hold on, I gotta find that last little crumb. Ready? Go get it. So, but it can be a really fun toy to work with your beauties. Again, to get them up and wiggling, to give them a doggy-centric play. But I would highly recommend that, again, we do it on flooring that has traction or outside where they have some good floor in the sense of maybe dirt, grass, gravel, but I wouldn't do it on rough terrain or things that have sticks or twigs or places where she could trip or get sort of, again, poked by something. Nice job, cuteness. So this is a very nice little session for some play, and we'll end it on this one. Good job, Miss B. Very nice.